The Little Dutch Boy.
One day, a little boy named Hans was walking to a friend's house. The day was cold and windy, but Hans wanted to take some hotcakes to his friend. Hans lived in Holland, where dikes hold back the sea from the land. The land was used to grow wheat. The townspeople had built brick walls around the town and fields. These brick walls were called dikes. The dikes kept the fields from flooding. Hans was hurrying back from his friend's house when the weather became stormy. The wind burned his cheeks and whipped his scarf around. Suddenly, Hans saw a hole in a dike. He knew that a hole was very bad because it could become a bigger hole. If the hole became too big, the sea might flood the town. The wheat crops would die and the townspeople would starve. Hans did not know what to do, so he ran to find help. The wind was blowing very hard. He called out, but no one could hear him because of the wind. He had to fix the problem on his own. Hans went back to the dike. "Oh, what can I do?" he thought. "I am only one little boy." Finally, he got an idea. He wrapped his scarf around his hand and pushed his fist into the hole. This stopped the water from coming through the dike. The stormy night went on and on. "I must be strong," thought Hans. "I must be as brave as a man." Hans was weary. "I am so tired, but I must hold back the sea." Morning finally came and the storm passed. An old man discovered Hans with his hand still in the dike. He was shivering and almost dead from the cold. Hans had held back the sea all night. The town bricklayers came running to fix the dike. Hans pulled out his fist and they quickly sealed the hole. Hans was bundled up in warm clothes. He was very tired, but he was smiling in the warm morning sun. The storm had passed and his town was safe. His mother and all the townspeople were very proud of Hans. The next day, a bright winter morning, the town awarded Hans a medal for his actions. From that time on, Hans was known as the little Dutch boy with the big heart.
Little Fox.
The Elves and the Shoemaker. Once upon a time, there was an old shoemaker. Although he worked hard, he was very poor. One cold winter night, he sat at his workbench. He began cutting his last piece of leather. There was only enough for one pair of shoes.
"Come to bed, dear,"
his wife said. The shoemaker shook his head.
"If I don't sell these shoes, we'll have no money."
"You can finish them in the morning,"
the wife said.
"Please, get some rest."
The shoemaker sighed and put down his scissors. In the middle of the night, two little elves climbed onto the workbench. They wore thin rags for clothes and had no shoes. They saw the cut leather and got to work. And while they worked, they sang.
We are helpful little elves. Helping others helps ourselves.
The next morning, a beautiful pair of shoes sat on the workbench. The shoemaker gasped.
"Who made these shoes?"
"What a miracle!"
the shoemaker's wife said. That day, a rich woman visited the shop. She loved the shoes and paid more than the shoemaker had expected. He was able to buy enough leather for 2 pairs of shoes. That evening, the shoemaker began cutting the leather. He yawned as he cut.
Dear, there's no need to work through the night,
his wife said. The shoemaker nodded.
I'll just finish cutting the leather.
When the shoemaker was finished, he left the leather on his workbench. He yawned again and went to bed. Once again, the little elves visited the shop. They happily got to work, singing,
We are helpful little elves. Helping others helps ourselves.
The next morning, 2 beautiful pairs of shoes sat finished on the workbench.
It happened again!
The shoemaker cried.
Someone must be trying to help us,
His wife said. The 2 pairs of shoes quickly sold. Now there was enough money to buy leather for 4 pairs of shoes. For several more days, the pattern repeated. Eventually, the shoemaker was no longer poor. One evening, not long before Christmas, the shoemaker was cutting leather.
Our fortunes have changed so quickly,
His wife said.
I wonder who has been helping us.
Why don't we stay up tonight?
The shoemaker said.
We can see who our kind helpers are.
What a marvelous idea,
His wife said. They hid and waited. Before long, the elves appeared on the workbench. As the elves sang and worked, the shoemaker and his wife whispered to each other.
Those poor creatures,
She said.
their clothes are worn out.
And they have no shoes.
The shoemaker said.
They helped us, so we should help them. I have an idea.
On Christmas Eve, the elves appeared again. When they climbed onto the workbench, they gasped. There was no leather cut for shoes. Instead, there were 2 sets of fine clothes and 2 fine pairs of shoes. The elves quickly put everything on, singing,
We helped them, we did indeed, and they gave us the things we need.
The shoemaker and his wife watched the elves shuffle away. The elves never visited the shop again. But the shoemaker and his wife never forgot their kind helpers.
Do not touch me. I am the king of the forest.
The tiger stopped and chuckled.
You? You are not the king of the forest. You are just a small, silly fox.
The fox knew he was not the king of the forest, but he planned to trick the tiger.
I am. I'm the king of the forest, and I can prove it. You are not the king of the forest. All I see is a little fox,
said the tiger. The fox thought quickly. Because he was very clever, he soon had a plan.
Truly, I am the king of the forest. When the other animals see me, they run away. They run away from you? No one runs away from you. You are a silly, skinny fox.
laughed the tiger. The fox knew that the deer were afraid of the tiger, so he said,
Let's go see the deer. They will run away.
The fox and the tiger went to see the deer. When the deer saw the tiger, they ran away.
Run! Run! It is the king of the forest!
Cried the deer.
Look at them. They are afraid of me. I am the king of the forest,
said the fox.
I still don't believe you. You are just a little fox,
the tiger said.
Let's go see the monkeys. They will run away too,
said the fox. So the fox and the tiger went to see the monkeys. When the monkeys saw the tiger, they ran away.
Swing! Swing! It's the king of the forest,
they said.
They are afraid of you,
the tiger said.
Of course they are. I am the king of the forest. All animals are afraid of me,
boasted the fox. The tiger believed the fox. Now he was afraid of the fox too.
I am so sorry, my great king. Please do not hurt me. I will let you go, but you must never try to hurt me again,
said the fox. The tiger thanked the fox and bowed to him.
My king, I will never hurt you again. You are a furious, furry fox. You may go,
said the fox, smiling. That night, the fox told all his friends about the tiger. The fox and his friends laughed and laughed.
Little Fox. The Falling Star. Two sisters were watching the stars one night.
Which is your favorite?
Asked the younger sister.
I like Bright Star. It is the prettiest, and one day I will marry that star,
replied the older sister. The two sisters laughed and then went inside to bed. The next morning, the two sisters were walking through the woods. The older sister saw a white cat caught in a tree. The beautiful cat looked very scared, and so the older sister decided to climb the tree and rescue it. As the older sister climbed the tree, the cat also climbed higher. In fact, as the cat climbed higher, the tree grew taller. So, the older sister kept climbing and climbing, trying to help the cat. Soon they were very high above the forest, but the cat kept climbing. Then, to the girl's surprise, she had reached the stars. She stepped off the tree and into the world of the stars. The cat was not a cat at all. He was a very handsome starman.
What am I doing here?
Asked the girl. Last night you said that you wanted to marry me, replied the man. So I brought you here to the star world. You can live in this beautiful land with me. The star people were very kind, and the starman was a wonderful husband. Soon the girl was very happy in the beautiful star world. In fact, soon the girl turned into a star herself. One day, the starman said to his new wife, "You may go anywhere you like, but please do not pick any white turnips. King Star has made it a rule." One day when the girl was in the garden, she saw the white turnips. She became very curious, and she decided to pick just one. It was very difficult to pick the turnip. She had to pull and pull. When she finally pulled the turnip, there was a large hole. The girl peeked through the hole. Down below, she could see her younger sister watching the stars. Her younger sister looked very sad and lonely. This made the older sister sad too, because she missed her younger sister a lot. The older sister created a plan. She would make a rope so that she could climb up and down between the stars and the earth. When the long rope was finished, she began to climb down, but the rope was not nearly long enough. She tried to climb back up, but she was not strong enough. Soon, she lost her grip and fell to the earth. The younger sister watched the stars every night. One night she saw a beautiful falling star. As she watched the bright star fall, she remembered her older sister. She pictured her sister's face and missed her even more. But she knew that she would never see her older sister again.
Little Fox.
Qianu and Qingyao. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful girl. Qingyao was the daughter of the King of Heaven. Her father loved her very much. Qingyao was beautiful and kind-hearted. She was also an excellent weaver. The king decided it was time for Qingyao to get married. A search began to find her a husband, but it was not easy. After many days, the king was about to give up. Finally, one day, the king found the perfect husband for Qingyao.
Yes, that's him. He will marry my daughter,
shouted the excited king. And so, Qianu, the cattle farmer, and Qingyao were married. Qingyao and Qianu loved each other very much. They spent every day together.
Qianu, mind your cows,
the angry king yelled. Oh, I beg your mercy, your highness, giggled Qianu. Qingyao did not have time for her weaving. Qianu did not have time for his cows. They only had time for each other. The king was very angry at Qingyao and Qianu.
Since you got married, you have become lazy,
scolded the king.
Look at your cows. Look at your weaving frame. For this, you, Qianu, will be sent to the east, and you, Qinye, will be sent to the west.
Qingyao and Qianu began crying before the king.
On the 7th day of July, you shall meet,
the king continued.
But the Milky Way will separate you forever.
So after 1 year, on the 7th day of July, they saw each other again. It was not a happy meeting. Qingyao and Qianu longed to be together, but the Milky Way still lay between them. Qingyao and Qianu were not the only ones who were unhappy.
It must be the 7th day of July again,
shouted the animals and the birds. Every year, Qingyao and Qianu's tears fell to the earth. Their many tears caused floods. The creatures of the earth held a meeting.
It is because Qinye and Qianu are apart,
complained the crow.
Their tears caused the floods,
sniffed the deer.
They must meet, or we will all die from their tears,
said the rabbit.
But how? The Milky Way stands between them,
cried the deer. All the creatures thought and thought what to do. Finally, they came up with a brilliant plan. All the crows on the earth gathered together. They flew up to the sky, higher and higher. Then, one by one, the birds lay down and formed a bridge. It was the day for Qianu and Qingyao to meet again. What is this? It is a bridge for me to cross, Qianu exclaimed when he saw what the crows had done.
Can this be true? Is that my beloved husband?
Qingyao shouted. At last, Qingyao and Qianu were together once again. Thanks to the birds and the bridge they made, Qingyao and Qianu could meet every year. On a clear night, you can still see Qingyao and Qianu in the stars. Jingyo as the harp and Kyunwoo as the eagle are separated by the Milky Way. It no longer floods on the 7th day of July, but it may rain a little, not from tears of sorrow, but from tears of joy.
Little Fox.
A father's wisdom.
Long ago, a rich man lived in a small village with his son. The father had to send his son to school far away from home.
"Son,"
he said,
"you will receive a good education at this school."
So the son went away to study. The father was very sad, but he believed it would be worth it. Someday his son would come back as a successful and well-educated man. A few years later, the father became very sick. He called his servant.
"Come here. I want you to write down my will. I might not be able to see my son again."
"Yes, master."
The servant obeyed.
"To you, my servant, I will give all of my money and my lands. To my son, I will give one thing only, but he may choose what he will ask for. Please deliver this will to my son."
"Of course, master,"
said the servant. Then the father died.
"Ha ha ha ha! All he had is now mine."
The servant laughed. He was so pleased that he hurried to the son and gave him the letter from his dead father.
"Oh no, father!"
cried the son. Days passed, and the son was sad and puzzled. He did not understand why his father had left everything to the servant, but only one request to him.
"Why did my father give everything to his servant? Why?"
The son consulted his wise teacher about this.
"Teacher, I never hurt my father and always tried to obey him. I thought he loved me, but I guess he did not love me after all."
"Wait, don't think like that,"
answered the teacher.
"He really was a very wise father."
"What? I don't understand,"
said the son. The teacher explained.
"After your father died, you said that there was no one in the house besides the servant."
"Yes,"
said the son.
"Then, after he died, what if the servant had run away with all of your father's treasures? Your father must have worried about this. So he told the servant that everything would belong to him. That way, his servant was pleased to come and tell you about your father's death."
"But what good does it do me? Father's servant owns everything now,"
complained the son.
"Think about it a bit more,"
suggested the teacher.
"Remember that every servant's possessions belong to his master. Doesn't your father's will say that you can ask for one thing?"
"Yes."
"So, ask your father's servant to be your servant. Then, everything of your father's will belong to you."
"Ah!"
cried the son.
"Now I understand how wise my father was. I must go back home right away."
He thanked his teacher and left. When he returned home, he met his father's servant.
"I am here to make my one request," he said.
"Okay,"
replied the servant.
"According to your father's will, you can ask for only one thing."
"My only request is that you serve me for the rest of your life."
"What? No way,"
said the servant. But deep down inside his heart, the servant knew that a servant's possessions belonged to his master. He could not refuse the son's request.
"Do not feel so sad," said the son. "I will share my wealth with you."
"Oh, thank you. I will serve you gladly,"
replied the servant. The son was proud to be the son of such a wise man.
so he tried to become just like his father. He treated his servant very well. Eventually, the son also became a wise and successful businessman, just like his father.
Little Fox.
The Mayor and the Young Boy.
A very long time ago, there was a mean and corrupt mayor. But his secretary was a kind man who hated injustice. The mayor always felt nervous when his secretary was around. His secretary was so kind and fair that the mayor could not do what he planned. The mayor liked to be mean, but the secretary always asked him to change his decisions. The mayor decided to find some fault with his secretary. One day, during a terrible snowstorm, the mayor called his secretary into his office. The mayor said with a cruel smile,
"My good fellow, I have a desire for fresh peaches and strawberries. I want you to go out and get these for me. I know it is a difficult task, so I will give you 1 month to complete it."
Then he continued,
"When you complete this task, I will reward you generously. But if you should fail, I will ask you to resign."
The secretary didn't know how to refuse. He thought to himself,
"Where can I find peaches and strawberries at this time of year? Nowhere. I couldn't even buy them with all the money in the world."
The mayor's demand was completely unreasonable. But the secretary knew that the mayor was testing his loyalty.
"This is hopeless, totally hopeless,"
he moaned. The secretary gathered his strength and decided to give the task his best try. He told his family that he had to go away on important business. He packed his small bag and set off in the snow to look for fresh peaches and strawberries. He went from city to city, but could not find the fruit anywhere. After several weeks of searching, he became very sick and returned home. The secretary's young son looked at him and asked,
"Father, why did you go away?"
The sick father, fearing that he might die, told his son the truth. The little boy listened quietly until his father finished. Then he spoke.
"Father, I want you to rest and recover from your illness. Please do not think about this task anymore. I have an idea. I think I can persuade the mayor to withdraw his demand."
The boy went to the mayor's house. When the boy saw the mayor, he greeted him with a big bow and said,
"Your Honor, my father is seriously ill. While he was out searching in the snow for fresh peaches and strawberries, he was bitten by a snake."
The mayor shook with anger.
"You disgusting liar!"
he screamed.
"You stupid child! How could anyone be bitten by a snake in this cold weather?"
And he slammed his fist on the table. The boy had expected this response. He bowed and asked politely,
"But, Your Honor, if one cannot find a snake in this cold snow, how can one find fresh peaches and strawberries?"
The mayor was speechless. The boy had tricked him. He knew he had to withdraw his request. When the town heard about what the mayor had done, they asked their king for a new mayor. The king replaced the mean and corrupt mayor with the kind and fair secretary. The new mayor ruled wisely, and his son received a great gift from the king.
Little Fox.